Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are enjoying one of our probably last warm times out here in the beer garden at Capitol Brewery.
Sad to say, but very true.
We hate to admit it, but it's true. We're going to talk to those folks a little bit later. But right now we're actually talking about legal services. And you know what? There may come a time in your life where you need some legal advice or need some legal services. And it's nice to know that you've got somebody in your corner maybe ahead of time. We're going to introduce you today to Richard Staley with Team Staley Legal Services. And we're so pleased to have you.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Well, glad to have you. We're going to learn a little bit about what you do, but first kind of tell us how it works. So you run your own office, but you actually share a building with other lawyers, correct?
Yes. We're over at 995 Applegate Road, right off of Fish Hatch in the Beltline, and we've actually got 4 attorneys in the office. Attorney Jair Alvarez, Attorney Mike Diaz, Attorney Kevin Boyle, and then, of course, myself, each of us being solo practitioners. Okay. But we've come together in one location so that we can share certain resources to help keep our overhead costs lower.
Oh, how nice.
That's
okay.
very interesting. So, obviously, all attorneys have sort of an area of expertise that they like to focus on. So what areas of law do you practice?
My primary areas are family law. I do a bit of criminal defense work as well, and then trademarking is really my other big area. But I consider myself more of a generalist. I also work a bit with estate planning, contract law, basic small business startup type of things, and then my passion project would be entertainment law.
Wow, okay.
And just a follow-up question, the folks that you share an office with, do they all have the same specialty, or are they all kind of different? Do they have a different portfolio of expertise?
No, one of the great things about our office setup is that each of us has those different practice areas, different experiences and areas of expertise that we each bring to the table.
Awesome. Yeah.
So one of the things we like to say about our location is that it's one stop for all of your legal needs.
There you go.
Regardless of what type of legal issue or situation you find yourself in, you can come looking to talk to one attorney and it may not be the right fit, and luckily we have 3 other people that can probably help you there.
Well, and I imagine if you're navigating through an issue or a problem or something that you're dealing with in a legal aspect, there may be other questions that branch off from there that sort of dip into other areas as well. So it's nice to have that under one roof. And let's talk a little bit for folks at home, you know, the sort of what's in it for me attitude, but what do you think kind of sets you apart, you and your colleagues as a whole, from maybe other solo lawyers in the area?
Well, as I had mentioned, with the lower overhead with our office setup, that allows us to charge lower fees than a lot of people are used to seeing when dealing with lawyers, particularly in larger offices. But we've also created a fully bilingual law office. Okay. All of our attorneys speak Spanish. Attorney Alvarez also speaks a little bit of French. Attorney Diaz speaks French, Italian. I believe he can also order coffee in Korean.
All right.
But in addition to those financial sort of savings that we can pass along to clients, we've also helped to reduce that language barrier that has historically prevented people, not just in the Latino community, but through populations all throughout Madison and Dane County, that have prevented them from working with attorneys in the past. So being able to offer that also allows us to save money in other areas like document translation, things like that.
Wow, really smart. Yeah, I didn't even think from a cost savings perspective, but in terms of communication, that's just key, absolutely.
And other than that, that cost saving aspect, what led to the formation of this office chair setup that you have?
Well, it really started with attorneys Diaz and Attorney Alvarez. They had identified this need for not only Spanish language attorneys, but also more flexible payment sort of options to break down the access that the barrier to access to legal services. So they had kind of come up with this idea, reached out to Attorney Boyle and myself, and with such a great idea, it's kind of hard to pass up. So of course we jumped right on board, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Wow, okay. And explain a little bit, you're a solo practitioner, so how does the Team Staley Legal Services sort of fit into that from being a solo practitioner? What does that mean?
Well, it's a twofold reasoning behind the name. The first off is just my approach to the practice of law. So often when people are going through a legal process, it can feel very lonely. It's very stressful, very overwhelming. And my personal view is that when someone hires an attorney, they more take on the role of a coach. And they have now that team captain on the field, sort of in the trenches getting it done. And what the coach does is figures out where you want to go. Ultimately, the client has their decision on what they would like to see. But then the lawyer takes that sort of role of the team player, getting that work done to guide them there on the field.
Wow.
The second rationale is actually a little bit more personal. Team Staley has been a family nickname that people have been calling my wife and I for years now. Our daughter is part as well.
See that, yeah.
So every day that I come to the office and I see that, or I'm introducing myself, I remember not only my approach to law, but also that motivation and the support that I've gotten from my family that has not only led me to where I am, but on a daily basis reminds me of why I'm doing this.
And how old's your daughter?
She'll be 2 in November.
Oh my gosh,
That's
what
awesome.
a great age.
That's
yeah.
awesome. Any special events that are coming up at Team Staley that we can that you can talk about?
Yes, actually, one of the things that we do in our office, we do a monthly community outreach event called Café con Leis, which is like coffee with laws, where our attorneys get together, we'll get some coffee and donuts and invite the community to come in for basically 15-minute information consultation sessions where people otherwise wouldn't be bothered to talk to a lawyer, would think that they would need to pay, that sort of thing. And it's a totally free service. We just invite the public to come in, sit down with a lawyer, chat a little bit, and then hopefully if they do need additional legal help, we can guide them in the right direction from there. But the next one will be October 1st at Centro Hispano down on West Badger Road. And be sure to check out their Facebook page or the Team Staley Facebook page for more information.
Thanks for the information. Really great. I enjoy your approach to your practice, but also it's nice to meet the face and see the real person and the family man behind the name. So thanks so much. This is Richard Staley with Team Staley Legal Services. We'll be right back with more Wisconsin Family after the break.